Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be doing a very requested video, and that is a fully drugstore video. When I mean fully, I mean everything. It's drugstore, even down to the sponge I'm using. I am using a Real Techniques sponge today to apply my base. So I have pulled out some of my favorites, some of my go-tos, and then some that I haven't used in a long time that I want to just dip back into. And so yeah, I'm going to do a full face of nothing but drugstore. So if that is something you're interested in, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so like I said, today we're going to do a drugstore video. So I'm going to start by using the very famous e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I have the Luminous Putty Primer to give you a little bit more of a glow or a dew. I don't actually own the original. Every time I've tried to go buy the original, it's been sold out, so I just grabbed this one. So I'm going to warm that up in my hands, and I'm just going to apply that here. I do like this primer. So far, nothing in my mind has ever beaten my Smashbox Photo Finish primer, but this one is a very close second. If I don't ever use that, I typically go for this. So I do highly recommend this one as well. So I have my primer down, and I like this one because it's a little tacky. It has a little bit of tack to it, but it just does so good at, you know, truly blurring out those pores. So, and that is what I need. So I have my primer on, and like I said, that was the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer that I have used. So it gives you like a nice little glow, but it's not gonna like mess up my foundation underneath. And so for my foundation, I am going to be using the also very famous L'Oreal Paris Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. This is supposed to last up to 24 hours. I do use this quite a bit. It's not my #1 drugstore one, but it's one I haven't used in a very long time, so I wanted to go ahead and get that back out. So I'm just going to do, I have the shade 405. You can see I've definitely used it. It's pretty gross looking, so I do apologize. I'm going to start off with just a little bit. I'm going to do like a 1.5 pumps. It's a very like runny, liquidy formula. So I'm going to, I have my damp beauty sponge here. I'm just going to take that and spot that all over my face just to give a more even complexion. And then I will blend that in with my Real Techniques sponge. I think this is one of their like limited edition ones or something like that. So I'm just gonna blend that in. This foundation does do a very nice job of being very long wear. It does really hold up to its claims. I know it's long wear. It's supposed to be breathable, buildable, and coverage, and up to 24 hours of fresh complexion. So that is definitely something that I'm sure we all would love to be able to have. So I'm just gonna take a little bit more. I'm not going to put a ton on. I don't care if mine does full coverage today. I'm not doing anything. I've already gone to church and I had lunch, but I wanted to sit down and film a video and just do one that I know that everyone is wanting to see. My problem is I don't actually have a ton of drugstore stuff, and like the stuff I have is like what I use all the time. So I definitely need to go out and really, you know, check more on drugstore products. I went from being the person who always had drugstore to now I kind of have, I wouldn't say I have high-end, but I'm definitely more in the middle range. I definitely have more mid-range product prices, and things you can't really always find in the drugstore, but that doesn't mean that they're not drugstore prices. So like ColourPop and stuff. I have tons of ColourPop stuff. So I'm just gonna build that up here into my hairline. And it also has like a decent scent, like it's kind of got like a chemically sunscreeny smell, which I don't mind the smell of sunscreen. People are very like picky on that. I actually like the smell of sunscreen, so it does have SPF of 25 in here, so that's what you smell. So I don't mind it, and it doesn't mess up my skin or anything. So, okay, so now that I have my base on, like I said, I did more of a medium coverage. Like, you can still see my skin acting like the acne and stuff like that. Doesn't really bother me. Not really going anywhere today, but it is, you can make it very full coverage. Sorry if you hear my dog. She is insisting she needs to be in here right now while I film this. So, if you hear the clickety-clacks, that is what it is. Well, gonna have to take a step back. I'm gonna have to throw this away. I was gonna use my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. However, I didn't realize that my tube was empty. Don't know why I kept that. So I guess let me get out. The only other drugstore concealer that I have is one I use often, which is my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. So I will use the hydrating one. I will use that. Guess I need to pick me up some more. And I will just add this in a couple of the places that I would like to have a little more coverage. I'm going to add a little bit of the matte one just to brighten up and highlight a little bit. Alright, and then I'll blend all of that in. Guys, and I have very gross like under eyes. They're like usually really dry. I think as the older I get, the more dry my skin has become, or drier. Because I used to be super oily, and I do have oily skin, but there are definitely just parts of my skin. I guess I'm really more combo then. But like right now, my skin is just so incredibly dry. I just feel like all I'm doing is moisturizing, but then sometimes my moisturizers are breaking me out, so I'm trying to find other moisturizers, and it's just like this whole thing. So if you have any good recommendations for moisturizers, I would be happy to hear them out. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some, just a little bit of setting powder, just a little bit. And I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. And I'm going to just take a little bit of that on my sponge, and I'm just going to set my, right here, my nose creases, because that tends to break up and separate a lot. And then I'll do it under my eyes. And a little bit on my chin. Just for now. We'll come back and set the whole face once I'm done with everything else. So now I'm going to add bronzer, and I'm going to take it back to my old school Milani Silky Matte bronzer. This is a bronzing powder, and this is in the shade Sunlight. My brushes, I will not be using drugstore brushes, so, you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to take my blinged brush here and build that up, and just place that right here, just to get a little bit of warmth back in the skin. This bronzer is super good. It's very, very buildable. So it's not, if you're someone who goes in with a heavy hand, you do have to, you know, really build up that coverage. But it's just a very, very nice, foolproof formula, I believe. Do that on the other side. Use my fish face so I can find the hollows. Okay, so now that I have my bronzer on, I'm going to add my blush. So I'm also going to be using a Milani blush. This is the Blush Trio. This is the Milani Floral Fantasy 2 Rose Powder Blushes. So they have, like, I have some of their single, I use this one, I have some of their single rose blushes, and then I also have this trio palette. So I'm going to dip into this. I will be using my ColourPop blush brush, which is what I use for all of my brushes for my blushes. So I'm just going to dip into, probably all of them. I typically just mix them all. So I'm just going to mix them all in. Just kind of stamp that on my cheeks. And swirl it in. That was the Milani Blush Trio. So now I'm going to stop with, actually no, I'm lying. I'm going to set the rest of my face with that loose finishing powder from Maybelline. So just dump a little bit of that into the cap and just kind of set everything back down. Just a little bit. I don't ever do too much now that my skin, especially now that my skin is kind of dry. Oh, my dog's going crazy back here. I apologize. Just pat that out. Just really make sure everything is set so when my T-zone gets oily, I have that there. So now I'm going to, we're going to dive into my eyes. So for my eyes today, I'm going to take it back to my Revolution Forever Flawless Affinity palette. And I'm just going to do a very basic look today. I'm going to dip into a couple of these shades and just do something kind of simple. So I'm going to start with the shade, I'm going to start with the shade, how about Memories right here, this one. So I'm just going to stick that right there just to give a flush of color. Like I said, I'm not doing much too crazy with this look today. Just like so. I'm kind of putting it kind of like all over my lid and up into my crease and using it as a transition just to like a whole wash of color. Yeah, so I'm going to do that on the other eye. So I have that on my eye. So now I'm going to take a smaller blending brush and I'm going to dip into the shade. We'll do the shade, how about Touch right here. I'm going to mix that in with a little bit of that Loyal color right here. It's more of a orangey warm tone brown. Dip into that and just kind of put that in my crease just to kind of deepen it up a little bit. Just like that. So now that I have just that little wash of color, I'm going to go in with this shade. Probably, I'm going to go into this shade Attraction here. It's like this white shimmery pink. It's got pink base and then like shimmery green and white shift. So I'm going to take that on my finger like that. It's very pretty. And I'm just going to stamp that in my lid area. Just to give like a subtle little pop there. It's a very beautiful shade. So that is the eye look as far as the eyeshadow goes. Like I said, just something very simple, very basic. And then I'm going to, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try some more eyeliner this time. I'm going to try one eye on camera and one eye off. So I'm going to hop off, do the eye that I think will be the hardest off camera, and then I'll do the easier eye on camera. We'll see how it goes. I am going to be using my CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus. This is not a liquid. This is just a pen. I do need to get a new one because it is running low. But I'm going to hop off and I will do this hopefully and not mess it up. And then I'll be back to maybe show you the other eye. We'll see. Okay, so I have the one on. I really don't know if I can do this on camera, but I am going to try my best. I'll probably be looking down quite a bit. Oh my gosh, I'm just dropping everything. Eyeliner stresses me, it stresses me out. So I do have one decent wing on the harder eye. But my eyes are definitely not the same shape, so it's really hard for me to ever get a good wing. But I also know that regardless if your eyes are the same shape, most people struggle to get both of your eyeliner lines and wings to look the same. So we're going to give it my best go, my best college try here. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna place it right there. This side is definitely a lot easier to do. This one just, it twitches so much, and because it's already super sensitive, I can't do it like that. So I'm just taking it out there to the very edge. Try to adjust my camera here. I don't want to be looking down and then you not see anything I'm doing. So I just have it like halfway in here, and then I'm going to flick this up here. Oopsie, I done messed that one up. Okay, well, that is as good as it's getting. It was quite the struggle. I had to hop off and fix. To fix it, I used a Q-tip and micellar water and just cleaned up the line and just like fixed it with going back in with a pen. I'm also not used to using, I've been using liquid for like years, but I started with this guy right here. This is my OG, but like, it's just so hard. It is so hard. It's like so much pressure. I don't know why, but it is. So now that that is as good as it's really gonna get, I'm going to add my mascara, and I was gonna use my Sky High, but I'm going to use another one that I really like, which is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It's still part of the Sky High like Lash Sensational line of theirs, but I'm going to use this one if I can actually get it open. I'm struggling today. Struggling. Okay, so I have like a little travel size version, and I'm just going to use this to coat my lashes. Like so. I need to get a new one because I can tell this one's getting old. I really just need to go shopping. That's what I've been learning this video. Move my hair out of the way. Just like that. So you can see my lashes. That's one reason why I quit wearing eyeliner, is because I already have small eyes and I have very few, like I don't have a ton of lashes. So when you draw a black line, it hides the length of your actual lashes. So I kind of quit doing eyeliner for that reason, which I thought was crazy, because for the longest time I thought people were crazy for not wearing eyeliner, and I used to wear eyeliner every day. Now I can't even function. Like, I hate putting on eyeliner. To me, that's the most daunting process of makeup, is the eyeliner. So now that that is done, I am going to spray my face with, I'm going to use my Pixie Makeup Fixing Mist. I'm going to use this and shake it up. Whoa, wow, that mister needs help. Okay, this is not... My mister didn't ever used to be that way. Okay, that was like right all up in my skin. I'm gonna go through with my Morphe Jeffree Star as well. Continuous Setting Mist. That's much better. Okay. Struggling. So now I'm gonna let that set. So for highlighter today, I'm going to use my Revlon Skin Lights in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. It's a beautiful, beautiful highlight. Let me get this open. So it looks like this. Very beautiful gold. It reminds me a lot of my, I don't know if it's supposed to be a dupe or not, but it reminds me a ton of the Ofra Rodeo Drive, which is a very, very popular highlight, but they are very similar, very similar. So I'm going to use the Revlon Skin Lights, And let me grab my highlighter brush. And I'm just gonna spray my highlighter brush with a little bit of that makeup fixing mist from Pixie, just to get it a little wet. And I'll take this. And just coat the high points of my face. This side you'll definitely see it. I mean, look at that. That is stunning, the way the light hits it. Going on my forehead, on the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow. And then now I'm going to take my makeup wipe, clean off my lips so they don't look nasty and gross. My Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon, and then I will top it with my Believe Beauty lip gloss. I actually don't know what shade this is in. Oh, Lead the Way 15, shade Lead the Way. It's very light. It's like the color of that pinky shade on my transition. So I'm going to take this. It's very soft and smooth and creamy. Just like that. Very pretty. It's kind of like your lips but better. So I have that. Very soft and velvety. And then I will top it off with my Believe Beauty Lustrous Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Ethereal. So it's like a peachy pink color. I will just take this. And kind of place that over top. This is my finished drugstore look. I really like it. I was able to dip back into some products that I hadn't used in a long time, and then some of my absolute favorites. And I'm honestly just very proud of myself for not giving up on this like eyeliner. Like, I'm really trying. I am really trying, y'all. I'm really trying. So I'm gonna quit playing with my hair because none of you actually care what my hair looks like. So yeah, so this is the finished look. I'm really excited about it. All of the products I used were $10 or less, minus the eyeshadow palette. I want to say that one was like 16 or 18. But everything here you can get at Target. The only thing you can't get at Target is Believe Beauty because that's a Dollar General exclusive. But everything else you can get at Target. So yeah, I highly recommend checking out your local drugstores. And I'm gonna do definitely a shopping day maybe when I get paid. Not that I need any more makeup, but just to have some more drugstore products, because I really don't have that much. And the stuff that I use all the time. So they're always products that you already know that I love and I use. So I want to get some new stuff and just try it out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!